All right, let's do some more Nolan Wells, guys. Hey, listen to my followers. Thanks so much for your support and the great questions. I did a long form video on YouTube that you can see at R Bianchi, Bianchiesq, that answers a lot of your questions. And that's what I'm trying to do, is answer your questions, because 30 years as a criminal trial attorney, as a former assistant prosecutor and New Jersey head county prosecutor, now certified New Jersey Supreme Court trial attorney that does criminal defense work, I think I got a thing or two to tell you about. Let me answer some great question that was asked by a number of you. What if the grand jury doesn't indict? Is that it? Is the case over? Well, I'm going to show you a chart here. It's going to have 5 points to it that's going to help you answer that question, so you can be an assassin when you're arguing or debating or trying to speak on this subject, because you'll be doing it from the expertise of an individual who has done the job. So let's go with number 1. The investigation can continue. This is a potential murder investigation. There is no statute of limitations. So the law enforcement authorities can always present a matter to the grand jury. And keep in mind, the grand jury is not a trial, so that investigative body can always be reconvened. Think of a cold case when more information comes in and they make an arrest 30 years later for somebody that did something. So that no statute of limitations means prosecutors can always bring a charge if they get new evidence. And there is not, unlike a trial, double jeopardy. You can bring a case before the grand jury 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times if you want. There's nothing that prevents you from doing it over and over again like there is at a trial if you're found not guilty. Number 2, you're going to look for that new evidence, okay? So that's where we want to go with that, and we already covered that. So let's go to the next area, the civil case. Now, civil is different than criminal. In civil law, the family can bring charges here. Unlike criminal, only the government can by way of an indictment or via charging document, which they have not done yet, and it doesn't look like they're going to do. They're just bringing it to the grand jury. The family can bring a civil case, and in that civil case, instead of having to prove the case beyond a reasonable doubt, you identify who the actor is that you think is responsible, and if you believe they caused harm or death, you can argue to the court that that negligence and recklessness, which is different than the standard in criminal, makes them responsible. Think O.J. Simpson here, not guilty on the criminal case, civil case brought by the family. They were successful in proving by a preponderance of the evidence that O.J. was responsible for that.
Gosh, on the timeline with these videos, I want to say something. Sometimes in the course of a civil case, information comes out that was unknown to law enforcement during the criminal investigation, and then gets used in the criminal investigation to bring in an indictment, a charge, and a conviction. So that's something to look out for. I know as a prosecutor, I always watch the civil case when we didn't bring charges, just to make sure evidence didn't come out that may have changed the opinion or the value of the case to us as prosecutors.